Say, for example, that a morning a week, Angel and Beth go over to Chandra's house and they just do like craft and fun kiddie stuff together.
We're going to be testing it's the first time we will have tested some of the tools that we've been developing over the last week or month to work with families.
We are approaching our first house for the day. I was showing the house and we're about to meet Lynn and Chris and her two boys to test out our new ideas.
They knew they wanted to sort of live their lives a bit differently, or they were thinking of changing jobs or moving, or kind of getting over sort of enjoyment, that should be.
Yeah. That's good.
Adventure and challenge. You like adventure and challenge? You want to put some of that?
We rely on public transport at the moment, so
it's a bit challenging.
Yeah, but I mean it's not difficult for us. I mean the beach is just down the road.
Chores and every day.
I'm thinking it's a totally separate social enterprise. I think it needs to have that feel like this is owned by families. This is not a government thing. This is a family feeling thing that has links to it. And the role of part of what the role would be is to provide professional development and feel how to and take in the Sarah Addises and help them and shape what they're doing. But that the feel of it, the culture of the organization is not. It's not about government. This is about families. Yeah, I guess we're talking about how we put more resource into the families that we've seen that are really thriving and use them as the resource for all of the other families. And rather than create another service, we create something that truly feels family to family and starts with that core. And that core also is used to transform services and systems around it, and is really the thing that evolves over time.
It's core of a family of people. We've got some families who find themselves in crisis doing stuff with this core of people. Plus we have the professionals.
We're working with some of these families.
That's right, but they'll get their development from these families too.
Yeah.
Today I'm going to be spending a day with a senior practitioner from Families SA, a child protection worker, and finding out a bit more about that role. Of course, it's a role that Carolyn knows intimately, but something that I'm not overly familiar with. and at the end of that I'm going to be testing out sort of some of our thinking and seeing how practitioners react to some of the ideas that we've got.
They're going to get that feedback from people who have gone through similar experiences and do know what it's like versus probably half our social work team that doesn't have children don't really know what it's like to be up at 2 in the morning with a crying baby. Like, I haven't done that. So, but for a family to have people who've gone through similar stuff and have come through it, and they know that there is that light, and if you put the work, the changes can be made.
It seemed to go down quite well. There wasn't much resistance to that. She could see a lot of benefits and how families would be drawn to that kind of support over and above some of the existing more service-like offerings.
So we're at Forbes Primary School and we're about to meet with the principal and talk to him about what works, what doesn't, and his experience of being a principal in this area.
That's right, and we're going to show some of our early ideas that we've started to develop, see what he thinks of them, and if we might be able to recruit parents through here, or just what kind of possibilities he identifies linking into.
But there's definitely a desire to want to do things differently and contribute to communities and families. I think similarly to families, they don't know what they don't know, and they want to be all-inclusive, so maybe it's just giving them some different exposure around how they could actually do that.
And I think the most interesting thing from a material perspective that we might want to do in the next couple of weeks is we need to sort out like what's the relationship between people in schools and services? How do they get people into family by family? We don't want it to be like a traditional referral system that has that same feel to it. So I think we need to develop something that she could use with families that might excite them and get them to want to call or be part of it.
So things that they do to help is they can help families try new things, help at different life stages, help with money, home, food stuff, and help with kids' behaviour.
All right.
So the second thing is volunteer to share your skills. So this might be if you, so you might teach families something you're good at. If you're a hairdresser, run a beauty or a hairdressing session. If you know how to build things or how to cook things, you might teach other families how to do that.
And see someone in an office or in a government building or whatever, someone can actually come and meet you and connect with you, and they do build a relationship, and you can tell some of your own stories. And
so that would be working probably with sort of 1 or 2 families, and then this one too, but this would be sort of more likely to be every day. A bit more intensive and more training to do that.
That's why that's the paid one, the job.
I wouldn't even be really interested in the money. The only thing I'd use the money for is to maybe create a project.
Right.
Basically self-budget.
In year 1, we see family by family as starting small and having some core functions in the team like training and recruitment and catalyzing experiences for families. And on the outer ring, these are all the families themselves who work and directly own family by family. The core premise of Families by Families is to really engage those families that exhibit thriving behaviors and use them to model and practice this with other families. That's a great
opportunity,
Try easy things first,
Yeah.
and then you can go to this tougher stuff, which is trying to really influence work of practice with families in certain situations.
And from that, then that makes me think also about, because my experience is certainly
So we've established the concept behind Family by Family, and we've begun to work out the systems behind Family by Family that would allow it to start up and to scale. And over the next few months, we'll be prototyping family by family. We'll be trying out the interactions and experiences that we have a hunch will work, and the interactions and experiences that appeal to people and to practitioners, in order to work out how they need to be shaped so that they really begin to show signs of changing people's behaviours and mindsets.